Hi there, so today we're back on the road again. We're visiting a lovely churchyard in the sunshine and we're going on the hunt, see if we can find Harry Selfridge. Okay, we're going to walk around and I will say some history of Harry Selfridge and let you know about the man who's had an amazing life, and we'll see what we're going to find along the way. Right, so as you can see, it's a very beautiful graveyard. Now, Harry Gordon Selfridge, he was born on the 11th of January 1858 in Wisconsin in the USA. He died on the 8th of May in Putney in London. He was born in Wisconsin, but he grew up in Michigan. His father fought in the Civil War and became a major, but after the war he never returned to his family and he was brought up by his mum. He had two brothers, both died at a young age, so Harry started work at the age of 10 years old delivering newspapers. He bounced around different jobs, but in 1876 he started as a stock boy in one of the most successful stores in Chicago. He worked for 25 years and worked his way up to junior partner. He then married Rosalie Buckingham, who came from a prominent family, and he amassed a personal fortune. In 1904 he decided to retire, but he became very bored. In 1906, whilst on holiday in London, he noticed London was a big city, but its stores were sadly lacking from its counterparts in the USA and Paris. He invested £400,000, a great sum of money in those years, on a new department store on Oxford Street. It was a landmark store with features that most modern department stores owe to their layouts. The Selfridge store prospered into the mid-1930s, but the Great Depression had taken its toll and departments had started to amass great debts. So in 1941 Harry Selfridge left the company. Only 6 years later he sadly died. The landmark Selfridge's store is still a major store in London, and there are also other stores across the country, with the company worth hundreds of millions of pounds. Harry is known for being one of the first to promote Christmas with the phrase "so many days shopping until Christmas." He is also credited with popularising the phrase "the customer is always right," which almost every business in the world uses today. A fascinating man with an amazing life, from America to England, the father of modern department stores, touching every business in the world with his wisdom. Harry Gordon Selfridge. So what we're going to do now is I'll stand for a while and see if I can contact Mr. Selfridge and see if we can get a message through. Okay, so while we turn the camera off, I've been sitting tuning in and managed to contact Mr. Selfridge, and he is with us now. Okay, do you want to come through and tell us your message? Have you got anything to say to us? I've looked into your life, you're a fascinating person with fantastic history. We just wondered how, all the way from America to London, and you ended up in this little place here. Have you anything to say? He's telling me he felt like a patsy and that he got railroaded out of his business. And he feels because of his age it wouldn't have happened if he was a bit younger. When he was younger, he had his eyes on everything. He tells me that he trusted the wrong people, but he says he's a very stubborn person. His original ideals. What do you mean? Tell me. He's saying he's probably just a bit outdated by the end. He's seen modern shops, he says, and he sees a lot of his blueprints in those shops today, and he feels proud. He's seen maybe worrying about computers and that they're going to replace the stores that he so loves. He says he's with his 5 children. He says his wife is safe with her family. She said she never wanted to leave the States. Life was so much simpler. But the challenge of cracking Britain made me feel alive. I probably should have been further thinking. He feels his original plan was perfect, but he should have evolved. He should have never brought the extra people in to help. He's too old, he's saying. He just can't keep up. He shouldn't have trusted other people. They looked for his weakness and preyed on it to get their hands on his money. He tells me his friend Peter is with him. He missed in his life when his friend died, he missed his chats and his sound advice. Things might not have ended the way it did. He should have been here longer. Come closer. He could chat all day about how wonderful his kids are and how much I love my wife. Yeah, he loves it here. He loves it. He's very happy. He has crossed. He comes in visitation. If we can look around here, we can see some of his family's graves as well. So thanks for the wonderful memories. Thanks for coming. Okay, he's stepping back now. So what we'll do is we'll take a steady walk back through the graveyard, and if we find any other wonderful history, we will turn the camera back on. Okay, so we found another interesting piece of history here with a wonderful war memorial for all the glorious dead who died in World War I and World War II, and I found out that also buried in this graveyard is a Lieutenant Spicer Cameron, who died in 1909, aged 75. And the reason this man is very special is because he won the Victoria Cross. And I found that he says he won an attack on a group of rebels in India. He stormed a house and killed 3 rebels by himself in single combat and was severely wounded, and I think part of his hand got cut off with a sword. But he later rose to the rank of colonel, and when he was died, he got buried in this beautiful graveyard. So that's another wonderful piece of history. We hope that you've liked all the history and making contact with the amazing Mr. Selfridge, who had such a wonderful life. And we're very pleased to be back out on the road. So make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back out on the road again soon. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.